Welcome to Multiple Choice Question 4 of the 2008 Mathematical Methods Exam 2. In this video, we will be looking at the solution for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. And now, before we move on to the question, I'd just like to point out that the use of a CAS calculator may be used to assist in answering this question, but there's still a significant amount that you have to do by hand before you can use the calculator to help. For question 4, it says if the integral from 1 to 3 of f of x dx is equal to 5, then the integral from 1 to 3 of 2 times f of x minus 3 dx is equal to one of the following. So what we will need to do is we'll need to use the properties of integrals and definite integrals to split this up into something that we can work with. So if we start with the integral of 1 to 3 of 2 times f of x minus 3 dx, the first thing that we can do is we can split this up over that subtraction sign, and in the same step we can take that 2 out the front. So this 2 here is going to be out the front of the integral, which is just from 1 to 3 of f of x dx. So that accounts for the 2 times f of x. And then we're going to subtract away from that the integral of 3, still between the terminals of 1 and 3 dx. Next, this will equal 2 times, and the integral from 1 to 3 of f of x dx, which I've just done in green, I've purposefully coded that in that color because that's equal to 5, which was up here in this green box. So we're just going to have 2 times 5, and then we're going to subtract away from that the integral of 3 evaluated between 1 and 3. So finding the antiderivative of 3, that would be 3x, and then we evaluate that between 1 and 3. So this is going to equal 2 times 5 is 10, and then we subtract away from that. And when we want to evaluate this antiderivative, we substitute in the upper terminal of 3, so we're going to have 3 times 3 is 9, and then we subtract away the lower terminal substituted in, which is 3 times 1, which just gives 3. So this is 10 subtract 6, which is equal to 4. So therefore, option A is the correct answer. The bit that could be done with the calculator was finding the integral from 1 to 3 of 3 dx, which equals 6. So this number here that we just found is equivalent to that line of working where 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. So that's where you could have used a calculator to help if you wanted to. From the examiner's report, we can see that 49% of students got this question correct. So it was actually a reasonably challenging question in that exam. And we can see that there's a large proportion of students at 34% that chose C. And the reason why students selected C was that they forgot to find the antiderivative of 3, which led to the following working, where they just calculated the integral from 1 to 3 of 2 times f of x dx, which would be 10, and then they just subtracted the number 3 off rather than the integral of 3 between 1 and 3 dx, like we saw on the previous slide. And that gives the answer of 7, which was option C. So that was the mistake that a lot of students made with that particular question.